I am not the ultimate fisherman, but I'm getting there. The historical dam in downtown Prattville, Alabama was constructed way back in 1838. That means the mill pond that filled up behind it is over 180 years old. So with a cypress swamp on one side and the public safety department on the other side, access to this water is pretty limited. But recently the Autauga Creek Canoe Trail managed to put in a kayak slip to expand our options of access. So pretty cut and dry video. I'm going to test out this new slip and then see what we can get into out here in the old mill pond. So I have fished this pond previously on the channel a couple of different times, but usually I start up in the creek and I make my way out to the pond, do a lap, and then head back up the creek. But with this launch, I decided to stick just to the pond, so from the bridge down. The first hour and a half was spent on top water, going from the dock down there all the way up to the bridge, zigzagging back and forth, and we got a whole heap of nothing. So now we're moving on to the middle of the water column with an inline spinner. The main issue is that super old ponds like this are quite overrun with growth and snags, so I've got several of these and hopefully I won't burn through all of them before I make it back to the other side of the pond. First fish of the day, and it's gonna be a bluegill. I figured when we swapped over to the inline spinner, this is a much smaller bait than that frog I was using. At the very least, we're gonna get some bites now. All right, got this pretty little bluegill. Finally got the skunk out. I imagine we're gonna be finding a fair amount of those. Got us another one. Nope. All right, buddy. Ow. Fend me, you little butthole. All right, number two. Ooh, getting bigger. Another pretty one. Oh my goodness. Who put this in the creek? It's a crappie. Well, that is definitely our prize of the day so far. A white crappie. Now, I've got these below the dam before in Autauga Creek, but I've never even heard of anybody pulling these out of the upper regions of Autauga Creek, anything above the dam. So this is an extremely pleasant surprise. Legal size, so I'm gonna take him home. I'm gonna eat him. All right, so let's get back to it. Wouldn't mind finding some more of those. So while I was fiddling around with that crappie, there was quite the commotion over here on the other side of this tree. I'm surprised I have not found a single bass so far in the whole time that I've been out here. But every now and then I hear a topwater hit. And over here there was like 4 or 5 splashes all took off at the same time while I was setting up the crappie cam. I imagine whatever it is probably not here anymore, but oh, different species for the day. An old long gear. This must be what all those short strikes are. Smaller long gear sunfish. Beautiful species of fish. Absolutely love these things. On back. Well, I am getting entirely too hot. I'm gonna have to call it quits for the day. I really do appreciate this new kayak launch. If you're wanting to just fish the pond area, I highly recommend you come slide off the end of that thing rather than having to go through all the rigmarole of coming all the way down the creek and then having to go all the way back up to get back out. If I had one complaint though, it would be that it was clearly designed more so for the lighter kayaks that you just carry in on your shoulder, those little standard sit on tops. These big heavy fishing kayaks, you still have to slide it down a pretty steep hill to get it to the slip, because you're not going to pick one of these up and just carry it down those stairs. So I'm really looking forward to having to actually drag this thing back out of here. Actually, I just tried. I can't get this thing up that hill. It's not happening, not with wheels. I'm gonna have to strip it down, pick this heavy thing up, and just take the darn stairs. Yeah, do not try to bring it. If you're gonna bring a big kayak, you might as well just go on down to the Allenville entrance. But in terms of fishing, this pond still does hold life. As I said, we pulled a crappie out. I'm very surprised by that. I did not expect that to be above the dam. Below, fine, they're coming up out of the river. But once you get up here, over 180 years of being cut off from the main river, I just assumed there would be no crappie up in here, but I was wrong. This will definitely not be the last time I fish this area, because there is one species in particular that I've pulled out of this pond before, so I need to get out here and track that fish down to put on camera. But until then, y'all have a good one.